Okay, let's put on our knee pads, grab our water bottles, and dive straight into the pressurized world of competitive youth volleyball.
Yeah.
This deep dive is a bit different. We're not really talking about specific blocking techniques or, how to hit a jump float serve.
No, not at all.
We are focusing on the infrastructure, the philosophical mindset, and the surprisingly high-stakes rules that govern these major tournaments.
That's right. Our mission today is to give you, the listener, a kind of shortcut to understanding the entire ecosystem of success in these high-level competitive environments.
A shortcut, I like that.
We're pulling out the crucial knowledge nuggets from some really detailed competition guides, specifically the Volleyball Canada Youth Nationals documents, and pairing them with powerful coaching philosophies.
From people like Dr. Darren Cannell, right?
Exactly, and of course the legendary wisdom of athletes like Car Curley and Kerry Walsh-Jennings.
It's such a fascinating combination because on one hand, you have this deep psychological insight that prepares an athlete to handle failure, and on the other,
You have these incredibly granular, almost bureaucratic rules.
yes, rules that dictate everything from how you manage your gear to how you formally launch a protest during a match.
Exactly. And our goal is to connect those two worlds, to show how, mastering the procedural stuff actually feeds in to the mental strength you need to win.
Okay, let's unpack this. Let's start with that foundational mindset, the thing that separates elite athletes from, well, everyone else. It's pretty well understood that raw physical talent can only take you so far. The mental preparation is everything. The legendary coach Bobby Knight, he framed it perfectly.
Oh, yeah, the famous quote.
He said, "The key is not the will to win. Everybody has that. It is the will to prepare to win that is important."
And this idea of rigorous, almost obsessive preparation is absolutely central to volleyball legends.
Yeah.
Car Curley, maybe the greatest player ever, talks about preparation not just as a path to victory, but as a path to mental peace.
That's interesting. Mental peace, not just, dominance. How does he make that connection?
Yeah. Well, he argues that if you have done absolutely everything possible to prepare for your matches, it just removes this massive psychological weight from your shoulders.
So you can just play.
You can play without that debilitating fear of losing. Because no matter the score, you put in the work.
And what's the ultimate measure of that successful preparation for him?
He says that when the tournament is over, win or lose, you will sleep well. Curley explains that the ultimate regret you want to avoid is that crushing feeling of wishing you had another chance because you knew deep down you just weren't ready.
Wow. That's a really powerful and actually highly actionable definition of success. Did I do enough to earn a good night's sleep?
Exactly. But preparation isn't a one-time thing, which is where Russ Rose's philosophy comes in.
Right. It has to be constant.
Rose puts a truly unforgiving point on this. He says the reality in competitive sports is that you are either getting better or you are getting worse.
Oof. Status quo does not exist.
It doesn't. If athletes want to achieve anything special, they have to recognize they're responsible every single day for making themselves better. You are never, ever standing still.
So if you skip one little drill or mentally check out for 5 minutes, you're actively losing ground to someone else who didn't?
Precisely. And this ties directly into handling adversity, because setbacks are going to happen. Kerry Walsh-Jennings emphasizes that adversity, if you let it, will fortify you. It'll make you the best version of yourself.
And Dr. Cannell explores this in the context of team selection, that really painful moment when an athlete doesn't make the cut.
He's very clear on this. Coaches shouldn't cheapen the value of earning a spot. That moment of disappointment, not making the team, shouldn't be cushioned.
It should be used as fuel.
As a fire, yeah. A catalyst to spark the intense drive you'll need for next time. Sometimes that tough moment is the most important lesson in an athlete's journey.
That deep dive into mental accountability really sets the foundation. Okay, so let's zoom out a bit, from the individual athlete to the entire village that supports a competitive team.
Starting with the coach.
Right, the coach's critical role.
So the primary non-technical responsibility of the coach is safety. The standards set by bodies like Volleyball Canada are incredibly rigorous.
They have to be certified and all that.
Yes, specifically NCCP certified. That's the National Coaching Certification Program. And they must provide an environment that is physically, mentally, emotionally, and socially safe for all athletes.
Safety is paramount, of course, but I was fascinated by Dr. Cannell's surprising management philosophy, which is essentially that coaches should strive to be lazy.
Right.
And delegate ruthlessly. I mean, that sounds so counterintuitive.
It does, but it's an efficiency principle. The coach's time is the most valuable resource on that court. So the coach should focus only on coaching strategy, skill refinement, game management.
And delegate everything else.
Every non-coaching activity gets delegated to the team or the parents. This is where that village concept becomes a structural requirement.
So things like cart booty, setting up the net, or keeping the team's stat journal, that's all handed off.
Exactly. If the coach is spending 15 minutes trying to find a missing ball pump, they aren't coaching. The responsibility for equipment, warm-ups, even snacks, is delegated. It teaches collective accountability.
That philosophy of efficiency extends down even to the most basic practice mechanics, where every second wasted is development lost. Take, for instance, the ball on the hip rule.
This is a perfect example of philosophy meeting practice. During rapid-fire drills, players retrieving balls must never, ever throw them back haphazardly.
They have to do what?
They must press the retrieved ball directly into the coach's side hip.
Into their hip.
Right. It forces discipline, keeps the player close, and eliminates the coach having to chase or wait for balls to roll into a cart.
And the source talks about what happens if you fail at this. The consequences are immediate.
Oh, yeah. If the team is sloppy with this, the coach can't maintain the pace, which just kills the drill's effectiveness. Dr. Cannell advocates for immediate collective punishment, like dive lines for the whole team whenever someone fails at the ball on the hip technique.
Wait, isn't that a little overly punitive for a simple mistake? Why that level of strict collective punishment?
Well, it's necessary because the source material is focused on creating a high-performance environment where efficiency is completely non-negotiable. The collective punishment, it isn't just about the one mistake.
It's about accountability for the drill's momentum.
Exactly. The source explicitly contrasts this strictness with relying on ball carts, which it says promotes lazy athletes who let balls roll everywhere, slowing down development for the whole group. If you waste time, you run. It's that simple.
Brutal, but effective. And as the coach focuses on technical training, the rest of the village, the parents and spectators, they have their own strict rules to follow.
They absolutely do. And it links right back to that safe environment mandate. Parents have to model good sportsmanship. They should cheer for good plays on both teams.
And the rule of thumb is pretty straightforward.
If you have nothing nice to say nothing at all.
Yeah. It sounds like the referees have zero tolerance for spectator misconduct. The source even notes that referees have removed all spectators from the gym.
Yes, for being disrespectful to the opposing teams or officials or even fans. The penalties for harassing an official are severe. It can be a 5-point penalty for your team, or you can be removed from the facility for the rest of the entire tournament.
Wow. The environment cannot be compromised.
No.
That moves us perfectly into the specifics of the high-stakes competition structure from the Volleyball Canada guides. When you get to the nationals level, it's a grind.
It's a 3-day marathon, typically.
Yeah.
Day 1 is your traditional pool play. Day 2 moves into what they call power pools, and Day 3 is the playoffs.
Okay, let's clarify that. Pool play versus power pools. What's the difference structurally?
So pool play is the initial seeding and sorting phase. Power pools on Day 2 are different because the results from Day 1 determine the grouping. Essentially, the top-performing teams from the initial pools get moved into these tighter pools to compete only against other high-performing teams. It creates tougher matches earlier, ensuring only the truly dominant teams advance.
That setup has to lead to a lot of ties in the standings, especially in those power pools where the talent is so closely matched.
For sure. And the tie-breaking procedures are incredibly specific, moving through 5 criteria. The philosophy behind it is to reward holistic performance and remove any subjective interpretation.
So they want to test depth, not just who won the big rivalry match.
Exactly. They want to know, first, did you win your direct rivalries? And second, how efficient were you with your time and your points against every opponent?
Okay, so walk us through the hierarchy of that criteria.
The first criteria, always prioritized, is the simple result of the match played directly between the tied teams. Team A beat Team B, Team A wins the tiebreaker. Simple.
But if 3 teams are tied and they all beat each other in a circle, then you move down the chain.
Right. And that chain quickly moves into ratios. If the head-to-head doesn't work, they move to the best ratio of won-to-loss sets, but only considering matches between the tied teams.
And if they're still tied?
Then they widen the scope. Best ratio of won-loss sets, considering all matches in the round. And if you still can't break it, you drill down to points. First, the ratio of points for against between the tied teams, and then overall.
That's fascinating. It means you can't just squeak by with 2-point wins. You have to dominate. You have to win sets efficiently, Or you lose the tiebreaker to a team that might have lost one match but absolutely crushed everyone else.
Exactly. It ensures that every single point and every single set matters throughout the entire tournament.
Now, for the most astonishing procedural nugget we found, something that feels instantly high pressure, the protest system. What if a coach believes a rule has been clearly misapplied by a referee?
It's a rapid-fire, high-stakes moment. A team can formally protest an improper application of a rule, or, say, a factual scoring mistake, like an error in rotation.
But the crucial thing you cannot protest is the referee's judgment.
Correct. Judgment calls, was it a lift, was it a net violation, did a player deserve a yellow card? All of that is final and non-protestable.
And here's where the high pressure comes in. To launch this protest, the captain has to do it immediately before play resumes, and the coach must instantly provide.
What? The coach must instantly provide a $100 cash fee to the first referee.
$100 cash on the spot. Why?
It's designed to prevent frivolous protests. That cash demand forces the coach to instantly evaluate. Is this mistake truly critical and defensible? You're not going to throw away $100 unless you are absolutely certain the referee made a fundamental procedural error.
So it's a filter, a really effective filter. If the protest is upheld, you get the money back. If it's overturned, the $100 is basically a penalty for wasting time.
And the timeline is just as pressurized. The competition jury has to make its decision prior to the resumption of play.
The game stops until it's resolved.
The game stops. And despite everyone having a smartphone that can do slow-mo, the rules are absolutely clear. Video evidence is not permitted to support a protest. It's a real-time decision based only on immediate testimony.
This all reinforces that central philosophical point from coaches like Alan Knipe and Volleyball, doesn't it?
It really does. Understanding these complicated rules, the tiebreakers, the protest fees, it reduces external pressure. The best thing you can do is take care of the things you can control. Your preparation, your commitment, your effort. Don't worry about the external things.
That focus on the controllable elements is truly what separates the successful athletes. And if we connect all this procedural knowledge back to learning and skill acquisition, we find a really wonderful final provocation.
This is where we get into motor programs. When teaching fundamental skills in volleyball, the serve is categorized as a closed motor program.
And what does that mean in learning psychology?
A closed motor program is a skill performed in a stable, predictable environment. Think of tying a shoe or shooting a free throw with no pressure. The movement is repeatable and isolated, so it develops quickly.
Serving, hitting a ball in an isolated action is the closed program.
Exactly. In contrast, serve reception, reading the serve, positioning your body, deciding where to pass, that is an open motor program.
Right, because it's dynamic and unpredictable.
Exactly. An open motor program happens in an environment that's always changing. It requires anticipation, reading, rapid decision-making, adapting to variables. And that complexity means it develops much, much slower.
So if you want to be successful at the complex open program parts of the game, or really any challenging field, you have to first master those simpler, repeatable, closed motor programs.
You have to master your fundamentals so deeply, like the ball on the hip drill or just showing up prepared, that they become automatic. That commitment to the closed program allows your brain to devote all its resources to the really complex task of reading the unpredictable world around you.
So we'd encourage you to look at your own learning journey and ask, what areas of my life work, a hobby, a new skill am I trying to excel at the high-level, complex, open program challenges when I haven't yet mastered the repeatable, automatic, closed program fundamentals? Figure out what those simple building blocks are, master them until they're automatic, and then you'll find that preparation that truly leads to success.